200 amp main panel in a condo unit with more than 6 breakers requires a main disconnect, which is a breaker. The National Electrical Code (NEC) mandates a main disconnect switch for any electrical service of 200 amps or more. This requirement stems from the need to provide a readily accessible means of disconnecting all conductors of a service from the premises wiring. The main disconnect ensures that in the event of an emergency or for maintenance purposes, the entire electrical supply to the condo unit can be quickly and safely shut off at one central location. Several sections of the NEC address service disconnect requirements. These sections outline the specific rules and regulations governing the installation, location, and accessibility of the main disconnect. Article 230.71, for example, limits the number of service disconnects to 6 for each service permitted by 230.2. This means that if a condo unit has a 200 amp service, it generally cannot have more than 6 breakers or sets of fuses serving as the main disconnect. If more than 6 are present, a single main disconnect breaker is required. Article 230.85 pertains to emergency disconnects and provides specific requirements for 1 and 2 family dwellings. While this doesn't directly apply to condos, it highlights the importance of having a readily accessible disconnect. Article 230.70 details the general requirements for service disconnecting means. It states that the service disconnecting means shall be installed at a readily accessible location either outside of a building or structure, or inside nearest the point of entrance of the service conductors. This ensures that authorized personnel can quickly and easily disconnect the power supply. The amperage rating of the main disconnect must be sufficient to handle the entire load of the condo unit. In this case, with a 200 amp service, the main disconnect breaker must be rated for at least 200 amps. It is crucial to select a breaker that is appropriately sized for the load to prevent overloading and potential hazards. The location of the main disconnect is also a critical consideration. It should be installed in a readily accessible location, meaning it can be reached without having to climb over obstacles, move furniture, or use tools. The disconnect should also be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose. This allows anyone unfamiliar with the electrical system to quickly identify and operate the disconnect in an emergency. The requirement for a main disconnect in a 200 amp condo unit stems from safety concerns and the need for a reliable means of disconnecting power. Without a main disconnect, it could be difficult to quickly shut off the electrical supply in the event of a fire, electrical shock, or other emergency. This could delay response times and increase the risk of injury or property damage. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards that governs the safe installation and operation of electrical systems. It is updated every 3 years to reflect the latest advancements in technology and best practices. Electrical inspectors use the NEC as a guide to ensure that electrical installations meet minimum safety requirements. When inspecting a condo unit with a 200 amp main panel, it is important to verify that a main disconnect is present and that it meets all applicable NEC requirements. This includes checking the amperage rating of the disconnect, its location, and its accessibility. If a main disconnect is not present or does not meet the code requirements, it should be corrected immediately to ensure the safety of the occupants. In summary, a main disconnect is a critical safety feature for any electrical service of 200 amps or more. It provides a readily accessible means of disconnecting the power supply in an emergency or for maintenance purposes. The NEC mandates a main disconnect for condo units with 200 amp main panels and more than 6 breakers. The disconnect must be appropriately sized, located, and accessible to ensure the safety of the occupants and the integrity of the electrical system. Ignoring this requirement can result in electrical hazards, code violations, and potential liability. Therefore, it is essential to comply with the NEC and ensure that all electrical installations meet the minimum safety standard.